Hi, it's Lynn from LynnieCDesigns. Thank you for joining me today. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in West Sussex in the UK, and I'm coming on today to share with you how I made some swaps. I attended a team gathering. My outline is the lovely Emma Goddard, aka Coastal Crafter, and she had a team meeting last Saturday and we participated in swaps, and this is what I made. It's just a card front. I will actually turn this into a card, but I thought it was worth going through and showing you how I made this. This was one of the cards that we made in my February class. I was going to do a video with this, and then we had the team meeting. So I thought I'll do this, and then one of my ladies who comes to class, hi Angela, she wanted to know how to create card bases in the most efficient way, and also to cut the layers. So I'm going to explain that later on in the video. The details for this will be on my blog, and I will share pictures of all the lovely swaps that I got from other members of the team. Not everybody takes part in it, but some of them came with treats, and I've actually eaten the treats. But anyway, I'm waffling, so I shall just get on with this. Now I used my favorite product or sweeter products from the new the current mini catalogue, and that is the Perennial Lavender Suite. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I'm a purple girl, and so this just leapt out of the page when I saw this. Beautiful samples, and our catalogues are a great way to get inspiration. But anyway, I decided I had to get the whole suite, so I've used some of the gorgeous designer series paper. I would show you the pack, but I've been using it for swaps. I'm off to Rotterdam in March 2024 for our annual Stampin' Up on Stage conference, and I'm creating some swaps with this suite because I'm just absolutely obsessed. So as well as using, I've used some of the stamps from the Painted Lavender Photopolymer stamp set. The sentiment out of here is from a different set, but I'm going to use this and create, show you how to use part of how easy it is to use part of a stamp if you haven't got the right, if you want to sort of doctor it without cutting things up. We've got some beautiful dies that cut out some of the stamped images and also give you some extra floral bits. I guess I should have done a little crib sheet, but anyway, I'm not that organized. And I've used a couple of the perennial postage dies, which I absolutely love. I love the detail that you get in these. And then just for another bit of interest, it's a little bit hard to see on here, but I embossed this layer and I used the Time Worn Type 3D embossing folder. So this time, this is Highland Heather, and this time I'm using Gorgeous Grape for the panel. I've got some basic Whisper White for the stamping, which I will stamp and die cut. And I have already, I had this spare and left over. So I used the largest of the dies to create a panel, die cut. I then sliced it in two and I then embossed it. And that way I got the size that I wanted. The raw edge is covered with the designer series paper, and this is beautiful. Look, it's got all our designer series paper is double-sided. So I've done that ahead of time, but I just need to do the stamping for the actual lavender. And we'll get and do that now, shall we? So, Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, and Fresh Freesia. I just thought it was quite nice to do 3 different colours of the lavender stalks. I just thought it was quite pretty. And this time I am going to use Pretty Peacock for the stalks. This was shaded Spruce, but I wanted to use some of these gorgeous adhesive backed sequins. This is the trio pack, and you'll find this in the annual catalogue. I used white on the originals, but actually I thought if I changed the green I could use the Pretty Peacock ones. So we shall do that, but let's pop that off to one side. Where's my stamps? Okay. So I've just got a scrap bit of grid sheet. And I've got my glass mat here, which is one of the things that you get as a if you join my team. Stampin' Up are doing an offer. You have to be quick because it runs out at the end of February 24. So 29th is the last day that you can get hold of this, but you get an absolute bargain, and I will go over that with you. Right, I'm going to start with the detailed die. I'm going to stamp off and stamp it down. I'm going to do that 3 times in each of the colours. So that was Highland Heather, Gorgeous Grape stamped off. This is Highland Heather. I might have to re-ink that. And this is Fresh Freesia. Very pale, such pretty colours. And then we've got the small stamp, and I'm going to do that over the top of each one in full strength. There's no real rhyme or reason, it's just to give the look of a double layer. And all I do is kind of line up that tick at the bottom, the florals at the bottom. Oh, I nearly did that the wrong one. So pop those over there. That just gives a sort of 3D effect to those flowers. Pop that off, and then I've got my Pretty Peacock. I need to re-ink my Pretty Peacock, and I'll do 3 of those. And while we've got our ink pads open, I'll show you the trick. I'm sure you've seen it before. So I want to put Here For You on the front of the card, and then might put Always on the inside. So all you need to do, you can either try and be clever and just get the bit that you want on the ink pad. We'll try that. I'll show you both ways. Here For You. The other way is to mask off. Let's get my masking tape. Just to mask off the bit that you don't want. Oh, got it round the edge, so I'm going to be a bit careful that I don't get that on the card. And we can do that, and then we can, that's another way of doing it. So let me just get that excess off. We'll clean that Perfect. Love a bit of masking. We'll turn this, we'll shut these up. Sorry for the noise. Yes, when you see a bit of a pale bit on your ink pad, it's time to re-ink. Now, if you want to see how to re-ink, if you're not sure of it, leave me a comment below and I will do that in a future video. Okay, clean off the last of my stamps and I will bring in my little mini Stampin' Up machine, and we will grab the dies that we want. So we want that one, and I'm hoping that we can still use the tiniest of these stamps to go over our sentiment, and we can. So what I'm going to do is, again, I can use my bit of my masking tape. I'm just going to take some of the sticky off just so that it doesn't tear the paper. We'll do that one in a minute. Let's see if we can, let's get that the right way up. That one on there, and we'll need some sticky for that one as well. It's been used quite a lot because I use it quite a lot, so it's a little bit bent, so we can just give it a bit of a tweak, make sure we've got it. Come on. That goes through a little bit easier when it's staggered. Didn't take enough of the sticky off. Got to be so careful. Just make sure that you can see the stalk through the end. So yes, just a few days left of this fantastic joining offer, and also celebration. So maybe should have put, let's see if I can get that one in at the same time. Might be a bit close. Didn't plan that very well. I think it will work. So Celebration, if you love Stampin' Up, and I'm sure you'll be aware of Celebration, but for every £45 you spend, you can earn free products, which, who doesn't love some free products? So those are done, and now we'll just do the sentiment. I think I'm going to do that one. Don't worry about taping that one down. Right, there we go. And I'm going to bring out my silicone mat. And the reason I love this, but actually I think you can see my lighting. So I'm trying to minimize the glare for you. So we need to put these together. Fingers aren't working, more fingers and thumbs. And all I do, you could use glue dots, but I'm using my trusty liquid glue. Could just put one, I'm just going to put one on each, so that I've got 3 independent stems. We've got more rain. Had a lovely dry walk this morning, got soaked yesterday. There we are, it's so pretty. And we're going to come back with our mat our mat. So Gorgeous Grape, I am going to stick this flat, little tiny little bit of glue. You really don't need much, look, it's just a tiny amount. I'm going to put that there. I'm sort of eyeing it up so that it's even-ish. And the reason I love this glue is it does give you a little bit of wiggle time, I call it. So again, let's put a little bead of glue around here. I think it's a little bit longer than it needs to be, so I'll bring my mat back. I'm going to line it up at the top. Oh no, I've done this one the right. See, I need time to move it about and make sure that it's right. Wasn't sure whether I'd trimmed this to the right level, but I have actually this time. When I made my swaps, I did rather different ones. So what am I going to do? I think I'm going to do the pink one in the background. So I'm going to lay that one flat. One down there, and I'm going to put some mini dimensionals. Got to look those out. Mini dimensionals. Just on that bit of the flower. And I'm going to add some glue. Down there. It's a bit of a big blob, so I'm going to just take my finger, like getting a bit inky and messy. I'm going to pop that one there. Oh, it would help if I had taken the backing off. And really, I was hoping, you know, that I would get better at making these videos, but I really don't. It's chaotic, I forget things, I waffle on, which I'm sure you don't want to hear. Now that is beautiful. I've got some linen thread, trusty linen thread, beautiful stuff. And I love the kind of the waviness of, there we go. So I'm going to keep the curls in just for the minute. We might trim it a bit more. Hopefully I've got some more on order. And with a bow, yeah, it's too big. Too big for me. Actually, let's see if I can tie a double. Make sure that try and get my tails same size. It's always a bit of a challenge. That's why I tend not to cut it before I, there we go, take it off the roll. That's better. Do a double. Do a double. So a mini glue dot. There we are, we've got one. Mini glue dot, a little bit rolled up. Pop that there. It's really pretty. And then I'm going to use another little mini dimensional, and I'm going to pop that and make it look like a tag. And then I was torn there for a moment. Do I use the gems that come with the Perennial Lavender Suite? These are purple fine shimmer gems, and they're just really pretty. They're faceted and they're a little bit sparkly, but I'll stick with these. As you can see, we use these in class. So just use my snips. Yes, they stand out a bit more than those ones. These ones are a little bit light. And I used, I put down what I used, nice little bit when I handed out my swaps. It's always nice. Some of the ladies don't put their name on it, which we then had to go around searching who had given what. So a card base. So we've got a sheet of thick basic white for the base. This is a sheet of A4. Now I'm gonna score it. It's 21 centimeters wide, so half of that is 10.5. So I'm going to score that at 10.5. And the Stampin' Up, oh, you couldn't see that. So the Stampin' Up trimmers have a measurement here, so it makes it really easy as long as you butt your card up there, and it's cuts, and it's got a cutting blade and a scoring blade. Occasionally I get it wrong, so I know that 14.8 is the halfway point on a piece of A4, so I'm going to cut that, and you then have 2 card bases. And I did my mats, and you just cut the mats down so that it leaves, when you stick it on, it leaves a small border. So this is, let me have a quick look. These are, it's 10.2 by 14.5 centimeters. So it leaves just a tiny little border all the way round. And that will just, I'm going to glue it. We have to be quite careful of bulk here when we're sending cards out in the UK. I don't know what it's like around the world, but our post office, not only does it keep, I think it's trying to stop people sending stuff, you know. They're concentrating on parcels rather than normal post, which is such a shame. But yes, it's these cards go in a, it's the letter size postage, but if it's too fat, too thick, you have to pay for a large letter. And I'm always quite trying to think about, if I'm going to send a card, to keep it flat-ish, if that makes sense. So there we go. That fits in, and I just think it's quite sweet. It's very nice, I think, to, I'm going to get my bone folder to see the white base on around the edge. Nice, not nice and simple. Now, what, with love and here for you, and you could put the always, but I'm going to leave the inside blank just for the moment, so that just in case, wait and see, you can fill the inside. Yes, this was one of the cards that we made in my class, and I actually did some stamping on the inside of that one with some of the, anyway, I'm waffling, so I will leave you. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, like, give me a comment, leave me some feedback. I would love to hear what you think. Take care, be safe. Bye for now.